things. I think the only way to chapter is to change games.
Also, restarting the stream's fine.
Yeah, I just restarted the stream right now. So let's do it. Remember, you're the one driving today, so you get to do the intro, which means you
Well,
don't have to remind me I forgot
I'm
something.
busy. I'm busy right now. You do intro.
Oh, come on. All right. Welcome to Granblue Radio. This is February 17th, 2022. Um we've got a whole lot going on actually. Um the quiet times are over is something that I say every couple months. It's like it's a good time to take a break. I've gotten 47 achievements in Vampire Survivors, and then it's like
That's a lot.
that's all of them that there are. Um, but it's just like, all right, Granblue content is releasing again. Let's see what's going on. So with that, it's me, Vibrating Sheep of Granblue_en, and with me as always.
Hey, it's DJ. I'm fighting a fight that does not use any of the new characters.
Oh yeah, yeah. You're smashing Horus. Well, I mean that's the thing, right? It's like
I
that's
can
new
use Mom.
content. Yeah. You can use wait, she actually works on non-light teams?
Oh, I know. Never mind.
I was gonna
It's
say.
dark.
I was gonna say it's like wait.
Dark favorite. Never
she
mind.
I was like she triggers on
None
Ascension.
of the fights. I have actually Cassius in the back leveling.
All right. So, um what we have today is we've got ourselves a new set of 3 Valentine's characters. So
That's new.
they're upping it from the previous couple years of 2, and we've got 3. So DJ, you sparked because Vira was involved. Where do you want to start?
Uh, let's go with the order of how I got these characters. So let's go with Cassius.
All right, let's take a look at Cassius then.
First
So
off, I love his weapon.
the Maritozzo.
Finely chop the chocolate, put it in a large bowl, add half of the cream, and melt the mixture over simmering water. It's literally instructions on how to make this thing.
And it's a melee fight. It's a melee weapon because of course it is. It's you hold it in your hands. It's a sweet bun. Sure, sure.
It has a big enemy, small garrison. That's not bad actually, and doesn't have a 4-star.
Big enmity, small garrison. So the easy comparison is to our old friend, the Meteora. Let me go take a look at Meteora. Is that because I've been using the Meteora forever, ever. Let's see, SSR, water, gun.
That one is big attack, small enemy, small garrison. So it
Pretty
has an attack
comparable, but
skill.
not a complete replacement. I like that.
Also, CA is not bad for a main character.
20% meter.
30%. I
All
don't
right,
know. You're looking at Meteora. I'm
right. Sorry.
talking
Back to Maritozzo.
30% chaser for 3 turns.
Nice. So yeah, useful weapon, but until it gets its 4-star, let's go talk about the character himself. So, have you tested him that much?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you have Kupitan already, don't you, or no? Are you waiting?
No.
Okay, so you're
And I
doing
have to wait for next
pre-Kupitan.
ticket to do that.
Got it.
But so, uh, here's the thing about Cassius. He is still Cassius, and
Right.
so he will try to dispel the foe. And when the foe CAs, he gets his ability back to dispel the foe.
Mhm.
Along with that, he also gets it to clear himself. That's Spinal Reflex Circuit 2
Mhm.
from his passives.
Right. So yeah, I mean, just an enemy trigger that silences him, or so the most applicable form of this is that Willness's auto attacks or Belial's auto attacks will try to skill seal. So if they try and do something that also skill seals him, and then they do a trigger that does some sort of buff, then Cassie will be like, no, 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 no,
No, no, no, no, no, no.
no.
And that's not his only way he can cast that skill, by the way. So let's just go back to Mirage Shine for a second.
Mirage
So it's
Sign. All right.
eight hits. I don't know the numbers on this, but 8 hits to random foes and removes a buff from all the foes.
And it
Right?
is 70k per hit, I think.
Yes, but you are also in water.
and you have Knight of Ice. Well, you either have Knight of Ice or you have the Kinetosite or all sorts of other things. But
And also, he gives himself supplemental damage on CA,
mm-hmm.
which is 100k, by the way.
So on his own, he takes this thing from doing 560k to 1.06 million. No, more
Yeah,
than that. It's 100k.
it's
So
a lot more than that.
it's a lot more.
It,
It's 1. Let's see, 1.36 million. Sorry.
yeah, around that number. That lines up with when I didn't have the crit grid.
Mm-hmm. So yeah,
Well,
he just wants to do that all the time, repeatedly.
it's a 5 turn cooldown too, so if it wasn't going off, it was gonna go off anyways.
It's a fake 5-turn cooldown also because he has two different ways to cheat these cooldowns.
One which we talked about, which is spinal reflex circuit, and the other is that his CA reduces his cooldowns by 1.
Yeah.
But that also applies to his skill 3, and that's the most ridiculous one.
Please tell me about it, EO player.
Okay, so after 2 turns, he casts Lunar Paradox. Lunar Paradox will actually get rid of the cooldowns for the rest of his skills. So I actually really like that too, because when you're doing full auto,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't mean that you immediately cast Lunar Paradox and then they're off cooldown. They're already off cooldown.
Which
right?
really annoys. Yeah, it's one of the annoying things about. So when people were using Cassius just to kill the um, campaign exclusive quest, you specifically didn't pick up skill 3 because like he just resets on turn 1. And you're like, why?
And that wastes you seconds, and those seconds add up because you're doing that a lot.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, keep going.
So yeah, so he gets Lunar Mark. So for each cast that an ally, including himself, for a skill that is not 0 to cooldown as always,
Mm-hmm.
and not auto activated, you get a level. When another skill is cast at level 4, you cast Mirage Sign and reset the level, and this stays on permanently.
Yeah. So unlike EO requires she requires 150 meter. Well, she requires 75 meter, but 150 meter to do it the
Better.
The ideal way, which is 14 hits.
And also, hers falls off after 7 turns.
Hers fall in. Yeah, there's holes. This one just stays on. It does less damage because it's not Flowery 7. However, it's still very good. And
I wish Flowery 7 removed buffs from the enemy.
right?
That'd be cool. So other things about this is that because this is actually recastable. If he dies and comes back somehow, you can just cast this skill 3 again to get Lunar Mark back.
Or you can just press it later in the fight to get all of your skills back. Yeah.
Well, I'm talking about if he dies because
Right.
you lose the buff.
Yep. But yeah, this is a very good skill. The cooldown of 10 turns is earned.
That's a fake 10 turns.
Yeah, it's a fake 10 turns because of Lunar Decoration right up here, where the man comes with his own Agonize.
Oh man! And then on top of that, Layer Edge is just a nice icing on the cake. So it's 2 hits. It does actually pretty sizable damage. It's like I forget the numbers on it.
It's decent, sure.
It's decent, but it also heals all your allies for 2214. Hey, look, there's the numbers, and also you remove a debuff from them, and it can also activate from Chocolate Arts, which is if you successfully remove a buff, activate Layer Edge.
When anybody does it. So this is the Enyo version and not the Maria Theresa version. It requires there to be a buff and for it to get removed. However,
you can also have Maria Theresa in the back,
Yeah. You can still have Maria Theresa and it'll still go off on just pressing a skill that has a dispel attached to it. And then, if you actually remove something, then you Lair Edge. Also, this wording is better than Maria Theresa for one specific situation, and that's for a very popular couple of characters in Water who remove buffs on their CA, which doesn't trigger Maria Theresa, but will trigger this, as far as I know, because it just says removes a buff.
Wait, what are you talking about?
So Shalem and Dog, who dispel on their CAs, do not trigger Maria Theresa.
Oh yeah, but this one does because
Yes.
it's not. It doesn't care if it's a skill or anything. It cares about it being removed. Period.
Yeah, but so the thing is that this character Cassius in hard content You're not going to be using him necessarily in hard content because you have dispels covered in water. This is not going to be like your Belial dispeller or anything like that. However, there's a lot of content where this character is going to be amazing. This guy is going to be great in like proving grounds. Not This guy is going to be great in the Tower of Babel. There's a lot of places where this exact kit is awesome. Like Nightmare 150, having the ability to just shrug off a skill seal and then just start dispelling 50%, you're just like, yes, yes, give me more of this. You know?
Oh yeah, I forgot one more thing about Lunar Mark is that he will also cast Lunar Mark when he CAs, if I remember correctly. Yep, it is right there in the first text.
Yeah, Mirage Sign activates upon charge attack.
Yeah, so currently right now,
Yeah.
in the crit grid
Mm-hmm.
and no like supplemental to CA, he does like 3 point something million CA and then a 2 million cast of Mirage Shine because he got the supplemental damage
Right. And then
immediately.
and then the other thing is that yeah, if you're packing the Knight of Ice, then you get to do fun agonized Robin Hood things with this guy, Kupita, and probably Fioer. Nemonade has a wonderful, wonderful video about those four characters just hitting buttons until your hand falls off. It's beautiful. It's freaking beautiful.
Yeah, this character is really good. I love his design.
Yeah, it's super fun. I'm looking forward to getting to a chance at this someday. However, I personally do not have the many tools um, to get this going. If I get the character, I'll play the character. If I don't get it, I'm not gonna cry. But still, really fun, really fun.
He also does keep up on damage with a lot of characters in the higher end.
Hmm. Yeah, it's just
Because
a
you know
matter
what?
of like,
He's just casting skills all left and right.
yeah, it's just a matter of like his kit overlaps with a bunch of other characters who are also at the higher end and doing a lot of other things. So I mean, that's not a bad that is not a bad space to be. I'm not trying to downplay that. It's just one of those things where it's like he doesn't do anything new. He just he enables one kind of team and he uh like is good in a lot of like just below the very top end content, which is an extremely good niche.
I probably would use him in top end anyways. I like this character.
I mean, you can. Like I said, you can. It's just that there's a lot of overlap, and so, you know, it's not a must-have or anything. He's just really cool. Who's next?
Let's go with Ladiva. I
I
got them
see.
both in the same pool, by the way.
I see. All right. So, as a wrestling fan, I gotta say, Ladiva's ring gear is awesome. That's my
Oh,
contribution to this conversation.
have you seen Ladiva on on the battlefield with as his version?
No, I haven't.
There's two announcers behind her.
Hold on, I have to go check the draw screen. Wait, no, she's not gonna be on there anymore. Curses, she's not there anymore.
Oh, it's so cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
She has
so
announcers.
yeah.
Amazing.
All right, so the thing about Ladiva, I think actually her worst button is actually her third button, to be honest.
Debuff immunity, so it's Veil, 3-turn local charm, attack down, cooldown 7 turns.
40% attack down for 3 turns. It's a 7 turn cooldown. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not hurting for debuff immunity in light. You've got Sarawell, you've got Thief, you've got just yourself. There's you've got like let's see, Tico takes care of the debuffs for you. There's all sorts of different ways to take care of these. So this one doesn't really do that much. That's useful. But oh well. Let's talk about the other things then.
All right. Ladiva is actually healer, and you can see that in style as well. So skill 1 for Ladiva, Magnanimous Heart 150%.
Hmm.
Uh, Unsurprisingly, heals you for 1,500 and removes the debuff from everybody.
But
And then you get stacking, healing up, and healing cap up to 60% each.
60%, so that's an extra 900 on it, so it'll be up to 2400.
Yeah, Ladiva also has 2 heal nodes,
Heal node
and
is plus 20%, so that's an extra 300 each, so it should go up to 3000-ish.
yeah, and then I rolled a ring on her, and now it's at 3,700 heal for
Not
any.
bad.
Yeah, it's not bad, especially when you look at all-encompassing heart, not heart, love, down there.
All-encompassing love. All right.
So
Hey.
anytime an ally is below 50%, activate skill 1.
So there are multiple versions of this, and they're of varying quality. So Doctor, for example, has a passive that does this, but it requires someone to be red. Thief also has a version of this, but it also requires someone to be red. This one is only below 50%. It is the most generous of them.
It's very generous. Healing for like 3k turn too.
Yeah, healing
Not
for
bad.
3k. And if you have a lot of health and being below 50%, it's a long climb up. It's just gonna keep happening. That's nice.
Yeah, it clears too.
Yeah.
I forgot about saying that. So it's like I don't feel unless they put like a billion debuffs on you, you don't feel threatened.
Mm-hmm. So you're the one who has used a lot of like full auto healers. How does this compare to the Tico effect of just constantly healing and clearing debuffs depending on how many
The diva
debuffs you
can
have?
attack.
Yeah, okay. Let's continue after this.
That's the biggest difference. Ladiva can attack, unlike Tico, who can only attack if she can CA.
Mm-hmm. All right.
All right. Next up is Infinite Love. So Light does not have a hype engine yet. This stocks will go up once there's a hype engine, really.
Mm-hmm. So you can just keep hype up. All right.
Yeah, the only character in Light that has hype is Halasena.
And that's for herself, isn't it? Or no? Is it for
Correct.
everybody?
She
Okay.
only does for herself.
Yeah. I was about to say it's like Halloween Halasena. She hits really hard, but she doesn't buff the rest of the team except for with her supplemental damage stuff. Anyway,
Yeah.
all right.
But Infinite Love's not bad. Okay,
Mhm.
so the numbers are 30% attack on a normal modifier. That's
Normal
whatever.
mod is
You're in Lights.
eh,
30% defense though.
always good. That's a big thumbs up.
30% DA and 15% TA.
Eh.
And well, we're not counting about that because Heartful Soul will activate this if you do Ascension, which is the 4-chain burst.
Yes, 4 or more chains gives you that. And also it takes effect when Ladiva's in the back. So if you're doing something like the Lily Loop or the Lily Engine, then you can just keep getting hype and getting defense up on this.
Defense up is really the most important thing.
It
really.
is the most important thing. So for full auto purposes, if you're not doing the Lily/New Generations loop, how often do you actually do Ascension specifically?
Depends on what my main character is.
Mm-hmm. Because one of the things that happens on full auto is that unless your team is built to 4-chain consistently, for doing you can have things like the Kaneshige, which gives everybody tons of meter. You have stuff like Greya on full auto, who just keeps boosting everybody's meter. So even if they fall behind a little bit on meter, you just shove their meter back up. Stuff like that.
Unless you're not doing the Lily John loop,
Mm-hmm.
You really can't like do it in full auto.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
However, it's just a nice thing to have.
It is.
But once again, until there's like a hype engine in Lights, you're not gonna care about the hype because it's only 3 turns of hype, like every other hype.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no way to extend it. There's no way to increase it really, not consistently.
Yeah, you have to specifically be a level 30 Rising Force as a light character.
Yeah, and Fire and Earth have this nice because they have the characters to support it.
Dark has one character who does it all by herself. It's just they don't need it. Vicky provides hype when you go to Disney World.
Yeah, but yeah. So once stocks can go up as soon as they print a character that helps Ladiva out. Well,
Yeah.
It's more of Ladiva helping that character out, really.
Yeah, that's fair. So, I mean, this is probably the least combat effective design, but this is also the most universally loved design.
Oh,
Everybody loves
You should
Ladiva.
also look at her CA. It's so good.
I don't have the video for that. We'll find out on light day. I'll take a look on light day and actually look at her CA.
I should try to remember if she powerbomb or somebody or not. I'm bad with wrestling terms and moves.
So the power bomb is where you pick up somebody so that they are essentially facing you, sitting on your shoulders, and then you take them and slam their back into the ground by
Okay, not a
putting
power
them
bomb.
forward.
I think it's pile driver then.
Pile driver is where they are upside down, facing you, and then you drop their head into the mat. So you
I'm
drop
pretty
them
sure it's
straight
pile
down.
driver.
Okay.
I'll have to look at the animation again.
All right. So anyway,
But
yeah.
I would actually use this character though in full auto, like 150.
Mhm. Makes sense. Yeah.
There are Light has easy way to get Garrison. The healing will be really nice, and also her weapon is also a healing weapon.
Mhm.
Heal cap and Garrison.
So heal cap and Garrett. So Walthari was used for a while, the light Percival weapon. It actually still gets pulled out every once in a while. Where are you, Walthari? Light Percival. That's like HP healing, I believe. Yeah, it's HP healing and attack. So this one gets pulled out because it's not embarrassing to have in your grid. You don't do less damage because you have it in your grid, and you get healing and hit points. So relatively comparable. And if they ever 4-star the Heartbeat Mitten, then this can be really handy in a hard fight.
I guess in like the CA is gonna be like 3 times a tank encounter or something,
or like armored to your team or something. Yeah, I can see that. This is one to keep an eye out on, because I mean we already use one Valentine's Fist for Garrison with Valentine Skathaha.
Yeah, hers comes with Majesty.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much all that you would need to add to this thing to make it worth considering. Is Majesty. Then it basically turns into a different Walthari. And like I said, Walthari gets used.
I don't need the HP in Light. I'm at 70k.
I mean that's fair. Did you are you on Taming Sari Land?
Taming Sari into Noah daggers.
That's right. All right.
Taming Sari's broken.
Is it on to the main event?
All right, it's my favorite time of the year.
It's Vira season.
Yeah.
I mean, this is
her
what, 8th version?
Yeah, it's been a while though. Her last version was end of 2019.
I'm just not gonna comment. This is your day, DJ. You get to take the lead.
All right, so they printed another Fire Vira. This one's way better than her other Fire Vira.
Yeah, it's because the other one they don't want to make good. Like none of the DVD characters are good. They are flavorful. There's a difference.
True. So, Valentine's Vira is what I actually hope like they were gonna do to change for Grand Vira. So, one, she starts off with a chef bits. You only need one chef bit, and it comes back every 5 turns. There's only one way to spend this chef bit, by the way.
And it is the Aegis Merge.
Yes, and the Aegis Merge is a 7-turn cooldown, lasts for 3 turns, and has the following effects. 300% defense.
Okay, that's a lot.
100% debuff resist.
Okay, sure.
Sub all.
For 3 turns? Okay, so it's comparable to Summer Alex. Got it.
Also comparable to herself.
Also true.
Nullifies foes' normal attacks.
So what does that mean, by the way?
If the foe does an auto attack, it does 0 to her.
Okay, so she only takes damage from status effects if she already has one on, and from like special actions.
Yes.
Okay, and then she has Wind Switch for herself. Also, okay.
Which is also important because she has another ability that caps incoming wind damage to 5,000 per hit. So she can actually tank Paradise Lost and not die somehow, because she actually can die in the light version.
Yeah, I was gonna say Light Vira doesn't she die to tanking Paradise Lost and all such things?
Often does.
Yeah, okay.
Very often does.
So in this case, she takes 20,000. So how bad is the low HP demerit, by the way?
20%, not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
It's fire. We don't have that much HP weapons.
I'm just you hear me complain about this often with Water Shalem, where she messes up my math a lot because of her low HP. But that's
We also don't have the Justice Summon.
yeah. The Justice Summon is important. Also, you don't have Maria Teresa's skill 2.
Yeah, no. In a team that has like like main character 48,000, she's
Mhm.
at like 30 something thousand.
That's not
It's
so
not that
bad
bad.
then. Yeah. Well, it's the same low number as Shalem. It's just that the context is different. There is no she won't mess up trying to copy someone else's red health. She won't mess up summoning Justice. Well, she could mess up summoning Justice. It's just that, yeah. Um,
Why you're playing Justice in fire?
it's because a lot of the time you use it to level out damage in hard fights, so that you can maintain like. Anyway, the point is that the context is different, and this low HP isn't really that important. Like, all right, so let's keep
Anyway,
going.
so anytime she actually has a chef bit, by the way,
Hmm.
she'll get 20 meter at the end of the turn.
Is it just built into the chef bit itself?
Yes.
Okay.
It's tied to her skill too. I mean, that's
Right.
skill too. Her support
Her
too.
support too, yeah. Because it doesn't actually say that. That's the one of the things that it. Oh wait, this says right there, uplift effect while it's there. So it's a
Yeah.
20% uplift, not a 10.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
Okay.
She is a CA monster. Guys, we're going to skill 3, 11 turn cooldown, 2 turn duration. Rouge a list. Immediately gives her 100 meter. And then her charge bar for the next 2 turns will be boosted to 100 meter at the end of the
So
turn.
Isaac and Eugen. So this is the next version of that. And her CA ends her skill 1 cooldown. So you're gonna get just like Isaac. So Water's Isaac. You will get to hit this button again for 3 straight turns.
And it's a delay. And Divine Jail. Divine Jail is actually like Olivia's skill 1.
Hmm.
And so the foe does not fill charge diamonds and can't use special attacks. Small disclaimer: some people can some foes can ignore that part.
Right. That's something that people who try to play Olivia have been lamenting for years. Is that, well, they started making bosses who just ignore it. Um, so this is the thing though. If she does work, if this does work, there's two things that make this context pretty crazy. Number one, so remember how we said that you're gonna get 3 turns of hitting Cage of Light,
Yep,
and they can't special attack.
yep. Or build meter.
So you're saying that they're only doing normal attacks,
Correct.
faux normal attacks for 3 turns. You said?
Yep.
Oh, oh, weird. The other thing about this is that the 1 turn duration of her Twilight Terror
Divine
is
Jail.
Divine Jail. Um, it can be extended, unlike
Because
the
it's
stop
not
signs.
can't act.
Yeah,
Can't act is broken and should never be extended.
yeah. And
This is
so
fairer.
it is fairer because they've already built ways around it for themselves. They have a bunch of escape valves. So, um, you can extend it with having Frau in the back line, which only extends it by 1 turn effectively, because
Two turns of that happening before I have to CA again to get rid of my thing.
yeah.
Oh
And then
yeah, but she in that time she rebuilt 40 meter from my level mortal,
mhm,
and then also she actually has higher DATA rates. I'll get to that in a sec.
yeah. So, um, or if you just have Frau in the front row, which will get more and more likely when Frau gets reworked in the coming months, then maybe you'll just extend it with having Frau in front. Who knows?
Yeah, it'd be 3 turns
Yeah.
without having to CA more often.
Mhm.
Spoilers, you're gonna CA often anyways.
Yeah. All right. So where are we going next with this?
All right, so we already talked about skill 1, we talked about skill 2, and we talked about skill 3. We only talked about a bit about support skill 1. Someday I'll fly with you.
Okay.
So first off, 20% hit to your max HP. That's fine. Next thing, 30% perpetuity mod.
To her attack.
Yep.
It's pretty good.
Guaranteed DA.
Wait, what's the CA specs up on her?
I'll get to that.
Okay.
50% TA.
That's a lot.
50% CA damage. 30% CA cap.
That's pretty good. Yeah. So this is
And she has 2 CA cap nodes, by the way.
Yeah. So this is a fairly complete kit. In terms of like hard content. She's not your dispel machine. That's either Zeta or Elmot or just any other number of characters. But she's very, very good on defense, and she holds her own on offense.
She's way better than our light version. Light version has 6 bits and loses it every turn.
Yeah, and then she has the Mystery Excelsior combo on this weapon. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it comes out like that.
Yeah.
Oh, but have you seen her sprite 2, by the way?
Yes, the one where if you uncap her, she's holding Merglace instead.
Yeah, I put it in chat.
Yeah, it's nice. So, anyway, yeah, Vira is the most like she's not going to single-handedly escort fire through hard raids. She's not gonna solo Beelzebub for you. She's not going to like uh wildly move the needle on Super Ultimate Bahamut if you weren't ready for it yet.
I think Athena still is like Super Queen still.
However, this is really good. there's a lot going for this. Like there are a few back doors that Cygames has built into this game that prevent her from like working perfectly, but that's fine in my
She works
opinion.
fine. She has a delay on the button that has a fade cooldown.
Yeah, she has a freaking delay that resets every time she CAs, so she can Isaac herself into just delaying 3 turns in a row. That's really good. There's a lot going on. Anyway.
Yeah, I actually do like the story on her Fate episode because it's literally every like most of the Valentine's lines, and then you extend the story of what happens.
Mhm. Where it's about just Catalina killing people.
Oh no, just you two. It's just Vira and MC. Like there's a part where they take a medicine to increase their stamina in order to eat the chocolate.
Uh-huh.
And then you find out that Catalina also put the same medicine in, and they're like 24 times fold, I think.
Oh god.
No, it's 20 times. I think it was 20 times.
There's
and so they get like drugged, and I was like, "This, you should have just not done this." And then they start dying.
God. There's a line that people took screenshots of and shared where it's just like, no, Catalina, when it says to melt chocolate in boiling water, it's not, you don't put the chocolate directly in boiling water.
Oh man,
right.
it's so good. Yeah,
all right.
Someone needs to help Catalina. She can't cook.
She's fine the way she is. Just don't let her cook. That's all. All right.
You do get the the Valentine's thing where Catalina gives you the chocolate.
Mm-hmm. That CG.
Yeah, you get that again in that entire thing.
But of course. All right. So those are the new characters. All in all, Cassius is awesome. Ladiva is awesome. Vira is like ready to go pretty much. And so we're moving on. So we've got the new fight, Horus, the latest thing in the Aeneid series.
My favorite level monster in Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, because these are all Egyptian gods, then they're drawing from the same mythology that Yu-Gi-Oh pulled from. So I think it's Harakde is the name of a Yu-Gi-Oh card that I saw being posted around yesterday.
Probably sounds right. There's a lot of cards.
It was creator god of light Horakti in Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, that sounds right. Anyways, new weapons.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, which one do you want to talk about first?
I mean, you're already on Harakti.
All right. So let's go and take a look at these things. So reset that. We got ourselves
It's a
bow and a
katana.
katana. All right. So, Aeneid weapons Herakti. Um, so the important thing here is crux, right there. It's all spelled out here. We've seen this enough times before. We know exactly how to judge this. So crux is a straight up
400k supplemental to your CA.
stacking up to 3 times, but it caps at 1 million. So most reasonable people, just
Run
leave it
two.
at having 2. It's Fed Spine, it's Galleon's Jaw, it's all sorts of other things that do the same effect, and it's good in every single one of those as long as you're in the right context for it. And so one of the things that people were sort of staring at going into April Unite and Fight was, man, there is no easy, fast way to um, 0 button, 3 chain, kill EX plus.
And now,
Ta-da! Get yourself
crux.
2 0-stars of these things. Just do it. And then there's Excelsior for even more damage cap up on your CAs.
Which you can hit when you're doing that 0 button still.
Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, this is
Pretty good.
This is meta changing for Light in a one very specific meta. However, it's a one that you will do very often. So it's good to have this.
And also, just to add to the facts, it's a katana.
Mm-hmm.
Main hand katana for Light. This is a pretty good one.
Mm-hmm.
And it gives you 10% meter to all your allies on CA.
Right.
And 20% DHCA. But it's a katana.
It's mostly for the meter part, so yeah. If people are still running Crusaor.
I mean, I was thinking of a Kengo.
Yeah, that's also true. But Crusaor is a relevant one because it is part of how a lot of people can one-turn Nightmare 90 is by Crusaoring it. And so like having this as a main hand weapon, and then bringing somebody like Shitori or Yukata Rosamiya, and yeah, you can just one-shot Nightmare 90 with by having this access to this thing.
Rise, O Lord of Lights.
So, all right. I mean, very good. I'm getting 2 of them. I don't think there's that much more to say. Next, on to the next one.
This is a bow.
Whatever. Harsh. It's going. I'm just going to call it the Horus bow. So we're gonna move on from that. This one is.
It's a bow.
It is the opposite of the katana, because the katana, it cares about it does one thing, and that one thing happens on one turn, and then you're done. This is the exact opposite. This wants to go the distance.
It's a bow.
Why does being a bow matter, DJ?
There's 2 classes that can use bows and are really good. One I mentioned already, Kengo.
Mm-hmm.
And the other, Robin Hood.
Wow. What is so good about lowering your cooldowns as a Robin Hood, DJ?
How about this button that cheats out the other buttons?
Oh, Return of the Fox? Wow. Well, I hadn't thought of that. I wonder if dark players know about that. Yeah. So we mentioned Agonize earlier, where Cassius is his own Agonize. This is a version of Light Agonize. So
it's not strictly skill damage. It is actually more in line with Abydos, where it is just an overall one, just based on your health.
Mm-hmm.
And it's only goes up to 30k by itself.
Yeah, and so you're going to be using it with things like, say, EO, and just all sorts of things that just do little bits of damage in large packages. Like not large chunks isn't the right word. Little bits of damage very often. And so yeah, so that's where the persistence comes in. And then
plus progression. Everything. I'm pretty sure at this point they're gonna put all have progression.
For in the Ennead series.
Yeah, progression, persistence.
Mm-hmm.
Watch them. The third weapons are just gonna break my ankles, and it's gonna go the opposite way.
Who knows? But yeah, Abydos. This is basically light Abydos, was it?
Yeah, it's literally like Abydos.
It's actually light Abydos.
Except for the CA.
Okay. And the Abydos is a dagger, which changes a lot of things, actually. Alright, so, I mean, everything that we said about Abydos applies to this thing. However,
this is technically better.
It is better.
On account that Dark has pain and suffering. Light does not have a generic supplemental damage.
Right. So this is actually, yeah, this is something that I'm going to be packing probably also 2 of. But anyway,
my grid's too kind of busy. I don't know where I'm going to put this actually.
A lot of people don't know, but the thing is that if anybody was still using the I believe it's called Sacred Standard, the Grand Jean d'Arc weapon,
yeah,
then they're probably switching to this because I think doesn't the Sacred Standard have Trium on it?
I think. Let me check.
It's Trium.
You know, I've never pulled a Grand John. I would have not known this. It's a medium progression too. Yeah, you're switching. You're definitely switching.
Yeah. Goodbye, Sacred Standard. You have been obsoleted by a bow. But honestly, a lot of people had already been cutting the Sacred Standard. So I mean,
yeah, Trium, but it's like just straight up Trium skills, not amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, this weapon's sick.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna be, like I said, I'm gonna be mashing this in advance of Unite and Fight in April. But that's 2 months from now, so I'm gonna take my time also.
Understandably so.
The fight itself for Horus, by the way, is actually easier for most people. Like not just us, where we have like completed grids or anything like that, but for most people, it's actually easier than Osiris because so the 4 different ways that you break the triggers of Horus are do a 4 chain, do up to 8 million CA damage, do 20 million CA damage, or just plain do 20 million damage in a turn. Those are the 4 primary omen breaks. These are way more predictable, and they are all dealt with in basically the same way because of how the Ennead series works, where you just get boosted numbers. So if you have a 4 chain, that's definitely doing 8 million CA damage, unless something has gone terribly wrong. If you,
to be fair, there's only one difference between Osiris and Horus, and that's one of them's 5 debuffs, the other one's 10 million.
And yeah, the thing is that the debuffs that Horus puts on you are actually way less obnoxious than the ones that Osiris puts on you. That's another thing.
Osiris kind of goes through yourself.
And you can press heal buttons while you're in Horus. And so those things combined to make Horus just a lot of fun and a lot more like, I don't know. I've been enjoying myself in Horus more than I enjoyed myself in Horus more than Osiris, I mean. But anyway,
I enjoy Osiris because my heal buttons turn into debuffs.
That's also true. So, whatever the next member of the Ennead series is, I'm looking forward to seeing gigantic numbers in one of the other main wheel elements, where it's just like, oh, look, this like Carnage button from Fior did like 11 million. I'm okay with this.
I want that boss to put a buff on itself just so I can remove it with Cassius.
With Cassius. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. This series has just been really fun as just a playground to see big numbers, and you know what? That has a place, and I enjoy it. All right. So those are those weapons. What do we got left?
Not much actually.
All right. So the last thing that I was going to talk about a little bit, it's just a brief thing. So in Uma Musume, for the first time in a collab event, they made Proud Mode.
And it's hard.
It actually is hard. I failed
It took me my third try.
It took me my third try. Because you're like, oh, she's Bluesy. Okay, sure. And you take your Bluesy team and it's like, oh, actually there's new there's new wrinkles. Did you bring a field button? You're like, no. It's like,
Why
oh.
would I need a field? Oh no.
And
Can't
so
just
this,
fed heal that, by the way, because fed heal always stays off cooldown.
yeah, isn't it just when you press it, it just is gone? It's like permanently
Correct.
there, and then you just never press it again. Yes.
Correct.
Oh man. Yeah, I didn't bother pressing the field button on her. Um, I didn't. I did 5 chain. I did the 10 debuffs, and that's pretty much all I bothered removing. I didn't
I
do
did all.
the.
I did all of it.
I didn't do the plane damage. And so I just brute forced it. And by brute forced,
The hardest part was like the last like 5%,
yeah,
because I didn't set up correctly, and so I took Paradise Lost pretty much.
yeah. The other thing that's rough is that if you don't, I forget which of the what is it, usurpers races or whatever they're called. Um, that there's one that makes her unable to miss, and like, oh no. So yeah, she combined Blue Sea's mechanics. She had a little bit of trance going too, where you had to keep
Oh
chain
yeah,
bursting in order to lower her stacks. It's
that's actually kind of slightly harder than
yeah, yeah.
than just dispelling.
So for people like us and us specifically, this was fun, and for people who aren't us and who are like, this is too hard, the great thing about this is that all it rewards you is a blue crystal. So if you don't want to do it, you're not missing out on anything. Just
But
do.
people are gonna be like, "Oh, my arm! I need to do this." And it's like, you don't have to do this. You really don't.
Yeah. And it's just like, it's there for fun, and just like other things that have said pride on them, it's for pride.
Yeah, it's actually. I'm actually kind of amazed that they actually made a Proud Fights that actually required me to think.
Yeah. It's been a while. For in the last proud fight that I didn't just like full auto was, I think, Nehan and Mugen, because they had different rules.
Yeah.
They don't have dots. They just do things. But anyway, uh, yeah, I enjoyed Golcilius mode. I hope that we get some other things like it. Um,
I'm just sad they didn't actually play Lucilia's song.
yeah, as sung by Goldship. That would have been
Yeah,
amazing.
that'd been dope.
That would have been dope. As a note, by the way, tonight at 6 p.m. JST, Kobayashi Taro tweeted out that he is going to be singing Umapyoi Densetsu.
Oh
So,
my god, that's amazing.
so are you staying up until 1 a.m. for this, DJ?
Nope.
Okay, I will
Please
try and
record it for
record it.
me.
I will try and record this because
I have 7 a.m. meetings.
got it. Because yeah, so Kobayashi Taro, the singer of such things as Kobayashi Taro is Parade's Lust and Paradise Lost. He's singing Umapyoi. Oh, that's gotta be so good. All right, that is it for this week.
Man. Who was the one who sang in karaoke recently? Masayoshi?
Oishi Masayoshi sang it with all of the parts. He was backing himself up on TV.
That thing's amazing.
He tweeted out, he's like, I nearly died doing this. What happened? So anyway, all right. So as of next week, the following things will be true. Replicard Sandbox will be updated because that's happening on the 21st.
Woo!
We will have Proving Grounds, so we can talk a little bit about Proving Grounds and what we did to beat those things.
Which element is it?
It is going to be, I believe, light favored, or is it dark favored? Let me go make sure. I always mix up which one is which when it's light and dark. So Granblue EN. It is dark favored, light enemies.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, yeah, we'll have that.
I won't talk that much next week then.
I'm gonna do some dumb stuff. That's my goal. It's always
big
my goal.
Idiot with dumb stuff.
Yeah. I am going to swap out my main character and then then do things. I don't know.
That's not any different than what you did last time.
For Proving Grounds?
No, I'm talking about for United Fight.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, there are those, and by next week we will probably also have the previews for the anniversary event ready to go.
We get see Geo again then.
Yeah. See you guys then. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for sparking and having informed opinions on all three of these characters, DJ.
I love them all. They're all great.
They are all great.
Love Vira.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. Yeah, see you guys then. Thanks for joining us.
All right, later, folks.
Later, all. Boop. Do, 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 do. Like Kobayashi Taro singing freaking Umapyoi.
I mean, we've seen baseball players go out to Umapyoi.
We have seen baseball players dance Umapyoi. There's a lot. There's just so much. It's so much all the time.
I'm still amazed how much that blew up.
So am I. All right. If you're still doing Horuses, I just found one in a pub and have opened it to you.
Oh, I'm in the middle of mine. I'll
Okay.
open that up to Gru.
All right. So anyway, fun stuff. See you guys later.